The team, which had been on a 10-day tour of the troubled areas in the Northeast, led by Daniel Fernand and his colleagues, Nigerian journalists, humanitarian workers, and a coalition of civil society organizations, at the forefront of providing humanitarian assistance in the Northeast Nigerian. The objective of the tour was to put an end to the speculations about Boko Haram occupying territories in some communities in the Northeast Nigerian after some attempts by the terrorists to invade Nigerian communities under the control of the Nigerian army.
We have been part of a confederation of NGOs, of social media influencers, and civil society organizations that have been, over the last 10 days, looking at the situation in northern Nigeria and the status of the Boko Haram insurgency. You'll see all the details in the report, but basically to boil it down, what we've been able to verify is that the Boko Haram is not holding territory anywhere in northern Nigeria. And the Nigerian military has done, from what we can tell, an outstanding job of providing security for people throughout the region.
Addressing the press, the team leader, Daniel Fernand, stated that the military has put in both thorough and professionalism in handling the terrorist group by allocating military personnel in strategic locations.
Upon interacting with the indigenous, they heaped praises on the efforts of soldiers in the military base stationed in Damasak. The team also observed a high return rate of people that were once displaced by Boko Haram terrorists in times past. Also, there are lots of construction works ongoing in homes and schools. There was also a high presence of humanitarian workers providing health services in the rebuilt General Hospital. In Gudambali, the story is also similar to that as that of Garshigar, where Boko Haram terrorists have made several attempts to gain entry into the town. It was discovered that 2 weeks earlier, approximately September 8th, there was an attempt by the Boko Haram terrorists to attack the town, but they met stiff resistance from the Nigerian army. Scores of indigenous were seen going about their regular business. There was also a heightened security presence in the community, which is a result of the constant attempts by dissident Boko Haram terrorists to launch an attack in the town.
Daniel also said most of the news emanating from the Northeast are fake and direct opposite of the actual situation on the ground.
The team observed that most of the news emanating from the Northeast is dubious and a direct opposite of the actual situation on the ground. As a group conversant with the activities of the Nigerian Army in Northeast Nigeria, it should be stated if this trend is not arrested, it could affect humanitarian works in the area. Also, it was observed that the fake news, or I'm a little bit wary of that term, actually, as myself. But the dubious reports emanating from the theater of Operation Northeast gives the Boko Haram terrorists a psychological boost and audacity to make attempts at regrouping and launching attacks in communities. It could also send the wrong message to the international community about the efforts of the Nigerian government in confronting the Boko Haram threats to our sovereignty as a nation.
The team later commended President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to Maiduguri when he assured them of peace and security.
We were there for the President's address to the military, where he assured people that the Boko Haram threat had been taken care of and put in the past. We both saw the state of security operations when we were there, the impressive vigilance of the military, also the way they engage the local populations, both in terms of gathering information and assuring them of their security. And once again, going back 2 months later, I was once again impressed by the behavior of the Nigerian military.
The team leader also urged the federal government to provide essential amenities by rebuilding schools and hospitals for the communities where people have settled in their homes. Sandra Guana, TVN News.